Hebrew Israelites believe in the future they're going to have superpowers like Superman or the Hulk. Literally. Listen to this clip where a guy says that it means in the future Hebrew Israelites are going to be able to throw tanks.
We're going to get that spiritual power, man. Where no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Meaning if a tank, we'll be able to pick up a tank and throw it, man. This is the power we talking about. Not at camp with sticks like these carnal Israelites out here talking about with a gun on their hip. Nah, we're going to get real power, man.
We should see that verse Isaiah 54:17 as what Paul talks about in Romans 8, which means nothing can separate us from the love of Christ. There's no condemnation for those who are in Christ. Romans chapter 8, 34, 35, 36, beautiful stuff. Not that in the future we're going to throw tanks. Hebrews like.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord, prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, Barakatham. And I wanted to say a few words of this nonsense coming out of Vocab Malone's mouth, who's a professional scoffer and a Hebrew Israelite groupie. You know, he can't really garner any type of audience or clout any other way besides mentioning Hebrew Israelites. And to be honest, the Christian church is played out, man. It's boring. No one believes you anymore. You've had centuries and centuries to indoctrinate and brainwash people, and ultimately it didn't work. You've been found out to be obsessive and violent, greedy, wicked, all into all types of acts of abominable acts, I should say. All right, you're tolerant of the things that the Most High calls an abomination. All right, and now all you can do is try to debunk the truth. All you can do is try to come up against the breakdowns that are put out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, offering no breakdowns of your own. You don't go into prophecy. You don't have the foresight to see the events in the world and how they lined up with the scriptures. All right. You don't have the faith to believe the real miracles that are promised to come. You know, and this is par for the course for these other guys that are just so low level in faith that they don't believe that miracles could come back, that can come back. They think having spiritual powers are so far-fetched, even though there are plenty examples in the scriptures of this thing occurring. And for you to know that, and then to also know that this is getting ready to be the worst time in the history of the world. This is going to be a trouble like no other time in history, man. All right. There's never been a greater trouble to come on the Israelites that's getting ready to come down on us, man. Great horrific judgments are coming, and yet you think this is just going to be a regular, normal, vanilla deliverance, and it's not. The scriptures speak about us being brought out of here with a mighty arm and a stretched out hand of the Most High, man. Things are about to turn up, and guys like this that lack faith, that just don't have any sauce or flavor or any understanding, just lost, man. He's lost without us, really. This guy, you know, his whole channel is dedicated to Hebrew Israelites, and he doesn't break down a single prophecy. All right, when you ask him about prophecy, he's jumping around. He's saying, well, it could be this or it could be that. Well, which is it? Scriptures say we have an unction from the Holy One to know all things. All right, not guess or theorize, you know. But let's get a few precepts, man, because this is clown shit. Let's see what the scriptures say. This is 2 Samuel 23:8, talking about King David's mighty men. All right, it says, these be the names of the mighty men whom David had. Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains, the same who was Adino the Eznite. he lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at once. Now, what does that sound like? Now, he's mocking putting the Incredible Hulk in his video. But what else does slaying 800 men at once look like? With one man with one spear. All right. Complete lack of faith and not understanding the scriptures. All right. Just like them one body and Yahweh shot guys, they don't even believe miracles occur. They believe every miraculous event would have been witchcraft if we did it. They're trying to find some alternative explanation about what happened. You guys are through, man. Let's read more about David's mighty man. First Chronicles 11 and 10. Because David had a whole fleet of mighty men, all right, that backed him up. So if David had it, that had mighty men, what do you think King David had? All right. It says these also are the chief of the mighty men whom David had, who strengthened themselves with him, all right, in his kingdom. So that means King David was on the level as well, man. And it says, and with all Israel to make him king according to the word of the Lord Yahweh concerning Israel. And this is the number of the mighty men whom David had. Jashubiam, Hakmonite, the chief of the captains, he lifted up his spear against 300, slain by him at one time. All right. So this is another account where he's slaying 300. All right. It says, and after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahahite, who was one of the three mighties. He was there with David at Pasdamim, Salakia, and there the Philistines were gathered together to battle, where was a parcel of ground full of barley, and the people fled from before the Philistines, and they set them in the midst of that parcel and delivered it and slew the Philistines, and the Lord Yahweh saved them by a great deliverance. All right. Now, guys that lack imagination, they just think these are just two men fighting. These are giant Philistines, man. All right. Getting taken down in spectacular fashion. Now it says, now 3 of the captains went down to the rock in the cave of Adullam, and the host of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in the hold, and the Philistines' garrison was then at Bethlehem. And David longed and said, oh, that I would give me a drink of water in Bethlehem that is at the gate. And the 3 break through the host of the Philistines, broke through them, and drew the water out of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. But David would not drink of it and poured it out. All right, so these are events of the Most High putting the spirit on King David's mighty men to accomplish his will, man, to do what he wants. Look here, it says Abishai, the brother of Joab, he was the chief of 3, for lifting up his spear against 300. He slew them and had a name among the 3. All right, so you had layers to this. All right. And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, which this is the same guy that Solomon had to go around to put to death the rebels when they tried to take the kingdom from King Solomon. You know, the same guy, the son of the valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts. He slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. All right, and he went down and slew a lion in a pit in a snowy day. So this guy was on the level, man. All right. And this is just a fraction of the miracles that the Most High did through his men, all right? Now, we all know the story of Samson, right? When you read Judges, the 15th chapter, verse 14, it says, and when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh came mightily upon him. The Spirit hit him, meaning what's getting ready to happen is of the Spirit, man, so spiritual powers. It says, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire. Flax is basically linen, all right? So it looked like burnt linen was on his arm after the Spirit hit him, and his bands loosed from off his hands, meaning he was bound up. The Spirit of the Most High hit him, and all of his bands just got burnt up off of him, man. All right? What does that sound like to you? It says, and he's found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. Now, you got to realize a bone is fairly fragile. For you to slay 1,000 men is one thing, but to slay with a jawbone of an ass, that's the spiritual powers at work, man. All right. So don't let these guys try to tell you that this is a myth. And if the Most High did it back then, you know, and in a time that wasn't our lowest, He's definitely going to do it now. All right. It says, and Samson said with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. All right. That's a lot of bodies, man. Basically in one swoop. And this guy will have you believe that this is just made up. That the Lord is just going to abandon us, man. But let's read what the scriptures say. What does the Lord promise to do? This is Micah 4:11. It says, now also many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled and let her eye look up on Zion. Meaning the nations are going to be ready to take us down. All right. In the latter days, it says, but they know not the thoughts of the Lord Yahweh, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. All right. And this is going to be around that the time of the World War III. All right. It says, arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion. All right. A threshing is something you do when you're basically reaping. All right. It says, for I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hooves brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people. All right. What does that mean to make your hooves brass, man? I mean, we're going to be leveled up. We're going to be running through these other heathen, man. All right. It says, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord Yahweh, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. All right. So we're promised to get these things, man. All right. Now, just to back up the point I made about King David, you just go over to Micah, the next chapter, the 5th chapter, I believe is verse 8. Yeah, it says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people. All right. As a lion among the beasts of the forest. So this is the same, almost the same scenario is describing us being around a bunch of heathen, and it's comparing us to lions and them as sheep. All right. So that should tell you the level that we're going to be on, man. All right. It says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of the people as a lion, among the beasts of the forest as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through both tread it down and tear it in pieces, and none can deliver. Like, what more do you need to hear, man? All right. This is why Christianity is dried up. They'd have you to believe that America's going to go on forever. All right. They don't go into end time prophecies. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right. They recite the same old precepts, and it's usually in the New Testament. And they're usually talking about the adoption and God loves everybody and all, and just wrong, man. Just wrong. You know? This is promised, man. All right. Last precept, man. And I'll let this go because spiritual powers are very, very important, Naki. Because that's gonna be when that happens, man. Whoever's not sealed, when they see that, they're gonna be sealed, man. All right. That's when the masses are gonna come in. You know, brothers start healing brothers. Brothers start coming back from the dead. Brothers start, becoming immune to gunfire or whatever. They're leaping over buildings and able to run out of there at super fast speeds. When that starts to happen, our name is going to be renowned among the world, man. Just like it was when we came out of Egypt. Everyone heard about us. They knew about us. Those Canaanites, they were shook. All right. Isaiah 40:29, it says, he giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength. All right. And who are the ones that don't have strength? We are, man. We're at the bottom of society. There's no way we could beat Esau, man. He's been given the blessing of the sword. He's got robots, drones, infrared, night vision, lasers, satellites, tanks, nukes. All right, all kind of toys he hadn't even brought out yet. All right. So what does that mean to his people, man? When it says he giveth power to the faint, and to him that have no might he increaseth. He increases strength. So that means we're gonna have to be on a level to take this devil out, man. And some brothers are just gonna have enough just to escape. You know, they may turn invisible, phase through a wall, or just, you know, or an angel shows up on their behalf. But we're gonna be good. Those of us that are of the elect. Lord willing, I be of that number, man. You pray every day, man. It says, even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. All right. So it says, but they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh shall renew their strength. All right, meaning we're gonna be able to run for miles without getting tired, man. It says they shall mount up with wings as eagles. That means flight. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint, man. All right, you're gonna be booking it. You ever see Captain America? He's just running full speed, non-stop, just booking it, man. All right, that's coming, you know. And you can read the book of Acts of all the miracles that the apostles did, you know, in the foretime, and how many were converted, man. All right, the Lord did that to show his power. All right, and the Lord loves to show his power, man, in the weak. All right, that's why we're in this lower state, because the Lord is going to be glorified in raising us up. That way, it's going to be no other way. Esau's not going to be able to explain it with his science or his bullshit propaganda. It's going to be completely unexplainable. He's going to be confounded. All right. The scriptures speak about he's coming to confound the wise. All right. To make the wisdom of this world foolish, I should say. You know, so this guy is he's an agent, you know, and ultimately this mockery is beautiful, because the world is getting ready to witness this firsthand, you know. So I'll end it there. Hopefully you brothers will edify. Call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachak Wadash Wa Abba Babal and Shalom.